Well, we continue to celebrate Nurses Week here at Kettering Health Hamilton. I am joined by our lead nurse, Brad Morrison, who serves as the Chief Nursing Officer here at Kettering Health Hamilton. Let's learn a little bit more about Brad and his journey on becoming a nurse. So, Brad, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Paul. Or good morning.
You're doing great.
Paul.
So, Brad, how long have you been a nurse?
I've been a nurse for 18 years now.
19 years. And you've served as a CNO here at Kettering Health Hamilton for how long?
Just over 3 years.
So Brad got the indoctrination of a lifetime. He stepped in to being the CNO right as the pandemic came in. So we like to say it was Brad's fault that the pandemic rolled through, nobody else. But Brad has been instrumental in helping us navigate through really complex and challenging times. So thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
So Brad, what was kind of the first moment that you knew that you wanted to be a nurse?
You know, it's really interesting. I actually grew up with parents in healthcare, so I wanted nothing to do with working in a hospital or in healthcare or anything like that. But as I went through college, really felt like God opened some doors for me, and He closed some doors for me. And long story short, He opened the door into nursing wide open, and I was able to get in and get through and have never looked back. It's been great.
So you kind of had an inside look into healthcare. What were some of the things that you didn't want to be a part of as you were thinking about being a nurse? Because your dad is a retired physician,
Yep.
and your mom is a nurse.
Yep. So really, I did not. I grew up a missionary kid on a hospital compound, so it was all things hospital, and I didn't want to have call on Christmas, have to work on the holidays, not open presents till Dad got home or anything like that. And probably didn't have a fair glimpse of what healthcare was, but really just I wasn't interested in blood and needles and anything else like that. And to this day, I'm good at giving needles, but not good at receiving needles.
Yeah, there may be a story where Brad has to lay flat after maybe getting a flu injection or getting his blood drawn, but it didn't happen here because we protect HIPAA. We do not violate the confidentiality. It didn't happen, did it?
There may be such story.
So
I plead the fifth.
So as you thought about becoming a nurse, what was the thing that scared you most as you were thinking about being a nurse? Whether it was when you first started or just as you were thinking about being a nurse?
Yeah. Really, it was just the responsibility that we have of being a nurse. And in nursing school, they drill into you critical thinking and when to question an order, and then at the same time balancing that with follow your orders. And so just that responsibility initially felt overwhelming, maybe. But I, quickly assimilated into the team and have been well supported by good nurses around me, especially back when I was new. I just remember that impact, and again, have just loved it. It's been great.
So that same responsibility that you talked about at the bedside, you still have today. What's it like being the CNO and leading over 300 and I think 75 nurses here at Kettering Health Hamilton? What sort of responsibilities do you face today?
Well, that's a great question, Paul. I feel like I jumped in the deep end, starting with COVID coming to America, and really then was leading through the COVID crisis and how do we flex up and flex down, and then it quickly became trying to help manage through the staffing crisis that was generated by that, and the travelers and the turnover and just the stress of working as a nurse and the increased really trauma that we saw collectively. So that's been a big challenge for us, but I'm really pleased to say we've done well. We're coming out of our staffing crisis. In fact, we're down to just one traveler who will no longer be with us in just a few weeks here, and really proud of the team that we've seen come together here in the last year here at Hamilton.
So you talk about the pride. As you look at the nurses, what makes you most proud and what gives you the most optimism?
I love to see the energy and passion that our nurses have. Just yesterday, we got to recognize one of our nurses in the family birthplace with the Daisy Award. And reading the award and just hearing about the compassionate care and the time she took to take care of that patient and to just go the extra mile and explain what was going on and comfort her through a difficult experience. And those things happen every day. many that are unsung. We don't hear about them, but those things happen every day. It's part of what I loved about being a nurse, was the opportunity to touch and impact people. And it's part of what I still love about being a nursing leader, is knowing and supporting my team to do that. I love it.
As you look to the future and you look back over your nursing career, what advice do you give young nurses or young people who are thinking about a career in medicine, who either are maybe afraid of the responsibility that you talked about, are afraid they'll harm somebody, or are just unsure if they can really cut it? What advice would you give them?
Well, first of all, I would say you can cut it. You can cut it. Stay resilient. I can remember as a brand new nurse with some of those challenges, coming to work anxious, sitting in my car, saying a prayer before going into work. But you know what? You can push through the difficult times, and it's about a team. I've loved being every unit I've worked on clinically, and then even as a nursing leader, it's about a team, and it's about people around you supporting you. And when you have the right environment that you work in and the right people around you, you can do anything. And so really, I would say stick with it, believe in yourself, and stay positive. Have fun. Enjoy every minute of the journey. And as I look back over my 18 years, I've just had some great experiences.
So speaking of fun, what do you like doing in your free time?
I have 3 boys, all teenagers now. And really anything active with them, but one of our favorite hobbies is to go dirt bike riding. So far, we've managed to avoid any major injuries requiring a visit to a hospital, so we're doing good.
Let's learn a little bit more about you. Favorite breakfast item?
I love potatoes. So really, I love the tater tots that we have here at the hospital.
They're good, Linda, Carla.
But really, any fried potato is a good breakfast item for me.
If it's a late night and if you were working on the floor, if you're working here at the hospital, what's your go-to beverage?
I'm a big coffee drinker, so it's either a cherry Coke or a coffee, usually a coffee.
So what you don't know is Brad has excellent taste in coffee. So he shared with me some coffee called Flying Goat, which I'd never heard of, which is a chain out in California where you're from.
Yep.
So very good coffee. So if Brad ever offers you a cup of coffee, take it. It'll be good. Favorite TV show?
Well, I've got a lot of TV shows I like, but I'm going to go a little retro. I love MASH, and I can remember sitting on my grandfather's lap watching MASH, and to this day I love it. And I hear that theme song, and I just have all kinds of good memories. So a little old school there, but I love MASH.
All right. If you could describe nursing as an adjective in one word, what would it be?
I guess I would go with care. Caring.
I like that. Well, Brad, you exhibit caring for patients that you touch and interact with. I get to see that when we get to round together. But most of all, I see in which the way you do that for our team. So thank you for leading with a caring philosophy and a caring heart. And thank you for the difference that you make here at Kettering Health Hamilton. Florence Nightingale would be exceedingly proud of you and the impact that you're making on the profession of nursing. So happy Nurses Week. Thank you for answering the call and not letting those fears get in the way of you becoming who I believe you were born and designed to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.